Welcome to my lovely city garden. You're just in time. I got a lot of pruning to do of all these tomato plants and a lot of peppers to harvest. Let's get going. Hi, can you see me? Awesome. So what we're going to do here is take off all of the leaves we don't need anymore. It's October 1st. We're done with trying to grow new tomatoes. We just want to ripen the ones that are on the vine. So I'm just going to start from the bottom, work my way up, and get rid of any of the leaves we don't need. I'm going to actually do that with most of the tomatoes that are with all the tomatoes that are actually left. It'll really give me a good idea and be able to see these in here since there's so much. They're all intertwined together. I'll play some music for you here so you don't get too bored. So this stem here, it's actually broken. Which a lot of them are doing. So I think this stuff happened when it started growing and it got overgrown, and I thought things were kind of being trellised up fine by the wires, not realizing some things are going in between, and I missed this, even though it was at the front. So just taking this whole one off. And I'm gonna just keep it right on the vine like that to ripen inside. See, like this plant here is also bending. So you can see that because these huge babies are there. So I'm just gonna try to put them over the wire there for now, and I can get to the rest. The goal is to save all the tomatoes. Another one. I'm just gonna do any of that. This is just taking up energy. Whole other plant. There is more on this plant. It'd be good to see which plants did the best, because one of the ones that looked strongest over here, that I remember I saw a video, one of my own videos the other day, where I put it into the ground. It was the first Brandywine pink down here, and I don't think that made anything. So just goes to show what it looks like in the beginning might not have be a determination of whether it's going to do well or not. Some I thought would do way better, and they didn't. And some I thought weren't going to do good, did great. So, all right, this one needs some help. I'm just gonna pop it there also. Yeah. And there's more on this plant. That's the first plant. That's all of this. Second. Nope, this is still that plant, right? I don't need this. Oh, I did need that. Oh, you stupid bitch. That's alright. I guess these are coming in the house too. Ah, damn it. I guess it's probably for the better. They're small. They're not going to be growing anymore. I don't think. I guess the mistakes will be the ones I take inside. Okay. Rotted. I have a lot more tomatoes in there than I thought. I had to stop recording for a second, put some music on and really get in there. It was getting a little crazy. Okay, we back again. 43 tomatoes. I just pulled off, and that doesn't include 2 rotted ones, which, let me show you that real quick. Look at how pretty. Hope you can see how pretty that is. But one side was rotted. But it's definitely like a pinky, green, yellow. I love it. So pretty. Hidden inside all that craziness, look at all of these tomatoes. Like I said, 40-ish hidden underneath all those leaves. I probably should have come out here sooner. The plan was to come out here sooner and get it done. But life happens. And it's done now. It looks great. So I didn't do a lot of pruning throughout the season. And as you've seen before, the leaves got a bit nuts. However, look at all that's producing. And I have come out here and grabbed tomatoes from them. Show you the bottom where some came up. That became 2. And then they would go off and become more. The advice I've seen with tomatoes is you prune all the suckers off. Well, if I pruned all the suckers off, I'd have one single stem. Or 2. But now there's tons. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe I would have gotten more, but look at this. Amazing. So I'm going to go through and prune what's left of these tomato plants. Brandywine Pink obviously has the majority, but maybe when I start chopping off some of the leaves, I'll see some other hidden tomatoes I didn't see before. Rosa Sicilian. Valencia. There's San Marzano back there. In this row here, both green zebra, there were 3 of them, and black crim, they all are gone. And it kind of makes me wonder if location has anything to do with whether they last or not. Everything was planted at the same time, pretty much the same time. Everything was seeded pretty much at the same time. but some did better than others, and it's just the way it goes. This is the purple, Cherokee purple. So there's probably 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, about 10 on these plants here. And then pretty much what I did is if it had tomatoes on it, I took off most of the leaves. If there were no tomatoes, I left the leaves and figured I would just see how far it can go, and maybe something will happen within the next month. I'm in no hurry to pull the garden apart, so that'll be that. I gotta harvest some of these peppers. I'm gonna go through and get all of the big ones and let the ones that are still growing grow on. Even if they're not their true color yet, I'm gonna still pull the big ones. Oh, the yellow one's rotted. No! See, that's the problem with keeping things on the vine. They'll sometimes get all rotted. Aw. I was so excited about this one being yellow, even though it's a California Wonder and it's eventually supposed to go to red. But stopped at yellow. I do have a red one back there, but before I do that, I have this plant that is leaning over because it's got two, I just noticed, on the ground. So I'll take those. And we have a couple back there that are huge, and I do have a red one down there. Hopefully it's not rotted. Alright, let's get that one. These Red Wonder are definitely the largest. Well, no, actually there's some taller. But, oh my gosh, the most productive this summer I didn't even see. Now there's 4 huge ones in here. Actually, there's 3 good sized ones and a giant one back here. So I'm going to take the one back here. And I'll take this one up here. It's also long. Alright. And I don't know if you can see, hopefully I have this right. Just take this right off. That one right off. You see the red one back there? Hopefully. Beautiful. So these are all the California Wonder, which are the red bell peppers. There are 6 in there, only 1 ripened red on the vine. So I'm going to try to keep these separate from the others. So when I take all these green peppers upstairs, I can see if they actually ripen up to their color they're supposed to be. So I'm going to come through and grab all the big ones. And some I already missed, so I want to make sure I'm careful going through each plant. So the yellow sun. They're exploding flowers and small peppers. But for the longest time, they didn't have many, so I'm just gonna grab a couple from them. Found a rotted one. Ugh. Rotting. back to the earth. Become part of the earth again. Oh, see a good one in there. 3. Great. The rest of them are all small. I'm just going to let them go. Do their thing. They're separate so I know what they are. Little purple one. It was grown in like the corner of the plant elbow. Whatever. I've come through already the purple tomatoes and I pulled a lot from them already. Not a lot, like 1 per plant. But I did that so I could at least get some of them before it started getting cold. Then it didn't really get cold. It stood really warm. But I see another one of yellow sunbright, even though it's not yellow yet. Coming over to this side. Okay, that's another one. This is the biggest one actually of the yellow. Good there. Orange, so Purple Beauty, we talked about that. There's one back there I'm going to grab when I get onto the other side. The Orange Sun are these, and I see some back there I'll grab. And then the last 2 rows are Chocolate Beauty, and there's one plant back there that has a ton of peppers on it. So I'm going to take some of those off. I'm going to go around. Okay, come back over here. I don't know if you can see me. But I have some purple. Now these are small. And the other purple ones that I harvested are also small. But they're not getting much bigger. And I have a ton of peppers. So I don't want them to rot on the vine. Which we already saw a couple rotting while they were becoming their beautiful color. Another purple right here. And see, this is probably the biggest purple I've gotten. And I'll show you a closer look, but the color's already changing. So maybe it was starting to split. So it's definitely ready to come off. Alright, the next row. 2 rows. Yeah. That's Hannah. My dog's in the pepper patch. What you doing in the pepper patch? Please get down. Alright, so this big plant here, it's growing well. Little different shapes. And I'm wondering if that's just because it's the beginning, but it's like a little pointy rather than the bottom bell shape. Alright, so we did those. I don't think I want to pull any of those yet. Maybe I will pull one. The biggest one, just so I can do my color test. Purple, obvious, those are the next ones. Alright, so this is the plant I was saying has a ton of fruit. Oh my gosh. I think I have my stick in the wrong spot. So 3, 4, oh no, 2 different plants. I'm sorry. Okay, I didn't have this one in the wrong place. So this is one, has 2, even though this is a smaller plant. I was saying it still has 2 good size fruits on it. And then this one has 3. It was leaning down, so I thought it was part of that. Goes back in. Lean on that, please. Thank you. So this one is the one that's starting to get color. And then I'm going to pull a couple off this plant. Even though they're not huge, it's kind of falling over. My Chocolate Beauty. And I think I'll take one off this other small plant because it's such a small plant. Let that other one grow. So 4. I'm gonna let that one get. Maybe I'll take this one too. No, I'll leave that one. But then I looked over here and I saw another big one of whatever that is. Let's put my chocolate ones down here. Today's harvest. I have them in bags to separate what they are. Peppers, 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 grapes, some tomatoes down there. October 1st, tons of produce. At the end of the summer, I was bummed at what I had gotten so far, but look at all of this and what's still growing. If you're interested in a full October 1st tour, I'll share a link. Thanks for harvesting with me today in my lovely city garden. Peace.